And so that is what the loop uses to decide. So, okay, while counter is less than AR.length, we'll do console.log. Okay, so we have a while loop again that I was saying. So this is a different way of defining a loop. We'll say while this Boolean condition is true, so while my counter is less than my array.length, we'll print out console.log, and at the end, we'll also increment our counter by 1. Okay, or yeah, 4. Okay. Though I think we did something wrong.
Yeah, you replace the counter by X.
Oh yeah, that's fine. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, let me kill that. Okay. So let ARR is equal to, oh, okay. All right, 1 second. Okay. Cool. So we'll do let ARR is equal to there. And then our counter, we start with 0 because we always start counting in arrays by 0. And then we'll do while counter is less than AR.length. Okay, and this is the second way we're defining, right? And it'll print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So this is the second way. And then the third way is called a do while loop. So I'll show you that too. Okay, so we'll define our counter to 0 again, and we'll say do console.log AR while okay. So this is the same while loop, but it's a little different that it performs the action. So we have do, it'll perform the action first, and then it'll evaluate the Boolean condition. So it'll do whatever task we give it first, and then it'll check, okay, is my counter less than the length of my array, right? So we will do that, and it will give us the same result. We have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So yeah. So we went over three. So we went over first the array data type, and then we went over 3 different types of iteration. We went over the for each loop. We went over the for loop. Then we I guess then that's 4 then. We went over the while loop, and we went over the do while loop. And yeah, I think some people have some questions. Hit, I think you have some questions. Let me unmute you. Okay, yeah. Hit, can you?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Sir, the three loops you talked about, where is this useful? In which, like, how it's useful in which field,
Yeah,
like, where it?
yeah, definitely. You know, what Nachiket was explaining before, um, that, many times in computer programming or in any type of like code that we want to write, we'll have to deal with a huge amount of data. Let's say like we have 100 different variables that we want to declare. So that'll be very difficult. Like in each line of our code, we have to define like 1,000 or 100 variables, right? So we'd say like in every line would do like let variable name is equal to some sort of uh, oh wait, 1 second. Okay. Yep. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, sorry. So is equal to some sort of data type. Oh, I just realized I didn't record this.
I
Oh,
started the recording in
you
this
started recording? Okay,
uh,
cool.
discussing the loop.
All right. Yeah. So yeah. So if we declare like 100 different variables, then it's very hard in our code, and we have to do like the same thing, like repeat it over and over again, right? So an array is a way we can create a list of different variables. We can create a list of different data types in like one line. It's very like easier for us to write and easier for the computer to read also. So kind of examples that we use, we can have an array of numbers, we can have an array of strings, we can have an array of Booleans, maybe kind of like a real world example. Let's say like you want to have variables for all the months of the year, right? So we can do that by declaring an array called like let months, and then inside the array, we'll put January through December. Um, so another example could be, let's say like for maybe in finance, like we want to track, okay, what was the stock price over the last 30 days? So we can also put that in an array. Okay, the first element of the array will represent, okay, the stock price on day one was this, and this was, and at the end of the array, we'll say it was this on 30th day. Yeah, so does that make more sense? Yep, okay. Anybody else have a question?
Well, sir, what we can do is also we can explain. We used counter plus equal to one, right? So I
Yeah.
don't know if everyone else knows this, but counter plus equal to one is similar to counter equal to counter plus one. So
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'll show you that too. Okay.
and also the difference between the length and the index. I guess that's also a bit confusing because length starts from one and index starts from zero. So
Okay,
a bit,
yeah. I'll go over those two things. Yeah, sure. Okay. Uh,
And what sir, we need to also discuss all the operators we use during the programming, like modulus operator, less than or equal to, and all.
okay, yeah, for Boolean condition. Okay, we can go over that too. Right, 1 second. All right. Okay. Yeah, the first thing, so like we wanted to talk about the plus equal thing. So we can do, let's say we define a variable, let counter equal to 0. So I think last time we talked about addition this way, counter is equal to counter plus 1. That is a normal way to add 1 to a variable, right? Counter equals counter plus 1. But then, there's, you can, like a short form of this is also counter plus equals 1. And what is that? That's all that's saying is like, okay, add 1 to whatever the value of counter is currently. So these are equivalent statements. This is just like a short form of that, right? So now it was 1, And again, we added 1, so we get 2. And then we talked about, okay, whenever we look at an array, we index by 0. So we start counting the array positions by 0. So we'll do that. So let ARR equal to okay. So ARR of 0 will return 0. But if we look at the ARR.length, it'll return 6. So that might be a little confusing, right? Because we counted from 0, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, okay, why isn't the length of the array 5? Well, this represents what is the total number of elements in my array. So the total number of elements is 6. So we have, because we have 6 elements, right? If we count from 0 to 5, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6 total elements. So array.length represents what is the total number of elements in my array. But whenever we want to refer to the index, we'll do 0. Okay, and then we went over for loops. So we also wanted to talk about, okay, what are the different types of Boolean conditions that we can use in a for loop, or a for each loop, a while loop, or a do while loop, right? Basically, like I said, every loop needs some sort of Boolean condition to evaluate, okay, do I go to the next step? Do I iterate one more time or not? So we can say, array.length is less than 7. So that is a Boolean condition. So we can use less than operator. We can say, we can also do the same thing, less than or equal to 6, right? Yes, it's less than or equal to 6, but is it less than or equal to 2? No, right? Because we have 6 elements. Then we can also do greater than. Is my array.length greater than 2? Yes. Or is it greater than or equal to 6? That'll say true, right? So we went over 4 different Boolean operators. We went over less than or equal to, then greater than or equal to, right? So we have the 4 different operators there. And then I think Nachiket, you said also you want me to talk about the modulus operator. Okay, so I'll do that too. I think it might be a little bit more confusing, but okay, here. The way the modulus operator works is like basically in math, right? We have a concept called like divisor and remainder. Like whenever we're doing division, we'll get that remainder value, right? Let's say if we so let me just show you. Okay, so we have 1 modulo 4, right? So what does 1 modulo 4 do? Let's say we want to, we divide 1 by 4, then our remainder will be 1, okay? So how do we use this in arrays? Okay, first let me say, okay, how do we want to use it in a Boolean operator? So, okay, we can say 1 modulo 4 is that whatever greater than, as long as that is less than the array.length, right? So yeah, 1 modulo 4 is less than my array.length, okay? And then we can also do, okay, 4 modulo 4, is that less than my array.length? Yes. Well, what about, we said that the length of our array is 6, right? So is 7 modulo 6 less than length of my array? Why? Okay, that might seem weird. Okay, well, if we do this, we try to access the 7th element of our array, what will happen? It'll say, well, that's undefined. You can't access the 7th array. Well, what if I try to access the 6th one? Well, you'll say you can't access the sixth one, right? Because we only have 6 elements, and the maximum index element that we can access is 5, right? So what does the modulo operator do? So we'll say, okay, 6 modulo 6. What is that? Oh, that's 0. Why is that 0? Because whenever you divide 6 by 6, the remainder is 0. And then, so same thing we can do with 7. So 7 divided, modulo 6, is the remainder is 1. So the way we can use this modulo operator in for loops and iteration is we can basically we can loop through the array in a circular fashion. So like once we get to the end, we can go back to the beginning and still keep on reading. So let me show you an example of that. So we say for let counter equal to 0. We'll do well counter modulo arr.length is less than arr.length. We'll do counter plus plus, and then in our thing we'll do console so this loop will never end, right? Because we're using the modulo function. It will always be within the bounds of arr.length. Okay, and as you can see, it just keeps on printing 0, 1 through 3, 4 over and over and over again. Yeah, so this is also called another example is it's also called a infinite loop. Basically, an infinite loop is a loop that doesn't stop. Okay, all right. So yeah, I think we went over a couple of concepts. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, Dhruti was raising her hand.
Okay.
Let me unmute her.
All right, Dhruti. Yeah, Dhruti, do you want to ask a question? You have to unmute yourself. Or if you want, you can ask the question in the chat. Oh, no, okay, no question. All right.
Nikesh is raising his hand.
Okay, yeah, Nikesh, yeah, you can. I'll unmute you. Yeah.
Hi,
You want to go?
Vachal.
Hi.
I want you to show you have shown an for loop with a single condition. Can you show with multiple conditions and or?
And or okay, yeah, we can do that too. All right. So let me share my screen. Yeah, 1 second. All right, yeah, well, when set is loading, I'll show you here. Okay, so we talked about some of the different Boolean conditions, right? There's also a different condition in JavaScript, like for Boolean operators, we can do, this is and we can also do or, right? So what this says is like we can basically group different Boolean operations together, so we can have multiple conditions. So let me show that. I think my browser got stuck. Yeah, so example that we did, right, we had the array.length, right? We say we wanted to see, okay, is my counter less than the array.length? And then we can say, okay, well, I also want to add another expression to that. So we do counter is less than array.length, and we can say like, okay, counter is is greater than 1, or is greater than or equal to 0. So what this will make sure is that our counter is always less than our array.length, and it is also greater than 0. So another thing we can do, we can say we can use the or condition. So what the and condition does, it says like it makes sure that, okay, the first expression and the second expression are both true. So we can say it's like and, right? So this is true and this is true. And if we want to do, this is the or expression, so we can say this is true or this is true. So if either one of these conditions are true, then our loop will go forward, or Boolean expression will go forward. And in this, if both of them are true, then our loop will go forward. Let me bring that up again. Okay. Yeah. So I wanted to show you that example. So we can say true and then true, right? So this says that if both of our conditions are true, then only return true. And let's say this is false. Well, if either one of them are false, it'll return false. Give that example. Right? These are all the 4 possibilities, and it only returns true if both of them are true. And then we have the or operator. So we can say it's true if either one of them is true. So it can be true when both are true, or one of them is true. So what we see here is that in all the different possibilities, you only return true when at least one value in your operator is true. So we wanted to see the for loop, right? Let AR. Okay, for x equals 0. We can do x is less than AR.length, and x is greater than or equal to 0, right? Then we'll do console. We'll do console.log. Oh yeah, 1 second. So we'll say x is equal to 0, and then now in our Boolean condition we have 2 expressions, right? We'll do x is less than the length of the array, and x is greater than or equal to 0. And then we also wanted to, I'll show you an or condition there too. We can say or x is, oh, and this is another one. It's called not equal. We can say x is not equal to -1. So we have our 2 conditions in the Boolean. X is less than the length of the array, or x is not equal to -1. Then it will print out. And then we have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Yeah, let me show not equal to. So basically what's saying is like true, not equal to false. So this will return true only if both sides are equal. So true, not equal to true. So this will say that that is incorrect. This will return false. Okay, let me do this. So true. These are all the different possibilities. So only when both sides are different, then you return true for the not equals operator. Okay. So yeah, I think we went over quite a different number of Boolean operators. So I'll do like a quick recap. So we went over this, which is less than. Then we went over this. Then we went over this operator, which is then this is greater than, and then this is greater than or equal. And then the last one, then we went over this, which is not equal. And then we went over and we went over or. So we went over all these different operations that we can use in Boolean expressions, especially in our for loops. Okay. So then, yeah. Also, okay. Well, one last thing we'll do today. We'll also try to add to our project, right? Okay. So let me open that up. This is our web server. We'll go here. So this is what we have currently, right? So what I wanted to do for today, what we'll do, let's define two different variables. I was thinking let's create an array called family. And inside today, let's put strings that represent all of the Krishna Bhagwan's family. So his father, Nand, Yashoda, and his mother Yashoda, then his elder brother Balaram, and then Krishna himself, right? So what we did was we created an array called family, and we put the members of Krishna's family inside that array. Then let's define another array. We'll call this colors. Okay. So we'll say orange, say purple, then we'll say green, and then we'll say blue. So we have both arrays will have a length of 4, right? There are 4 elements in both arrays. At the 0th position, we have a none for family, and for colors, we'll have orange at the 0th position, right? Okay. So yeah, let's use that array with the knowledge that we have today. So these are some of the kind of framework specific whatever commands that I'm doing right now. We will go more in depth with that in a later class, but this is just to kind of visualize what we learned today. So what this is doing in processing is saying, okay, make my background white, okay? And then what we'll do, we'll define a variable called space, and you'll see as we display it. Then say, okay, we want our text size to be 50, and then we'll do a for loop. So for x in our array that is called family. So for every element of the array, what we want to do is first let's get a color. So this is saying, okay, get all the index elements in the colors array. So when we're at the position 0, it'll get orange. Okay. And then we'll do, so this will set the color of the text. And then now we're going to print out the text. So yeah, so this is where we're using this space variable. So basically we're saying, okay, after you print out each name, we want to add some space, let's say like 10 pixels or whatever, between the names. So we'll do 50 plus space. This is the X position in our canvas, and this is the Y position. And we'll do, we talked about this operator before, right? Plus equals. So what we did in our code, we defined a list, right? We defined an array called family, and we put all the members of Krishna's family in there. Then we have an array called colors. We put different colors. And then we declared that we said, okay, make our background white, and then we'll do space is equal to 0. Define a variable called space. Then we set the text size to 50. Then now we're iterating through all the elements in the array, and we're saying, okay, make that color of the text what we have defined in our colors array, and then display the text, and then also add 50 to our space variable so we have more space between the names. So, okay, I saved that code, and then we go back here. So this is where we started, and now we have Nand, Yashoda, Balram, Krishna, right? In all the different colors, right? And let's say, okay, if we want to change the color that is associated with Nand's name, how do we do that? Well, we go here and we say, okay, I don't want to make Nand orange. I want to make his name into whatever, blue, right? So we'll change it there and do blue. So then when we refresh, his name is now blue, right? Okay, so yeah, a little bit for the project at the end. I added that too. And yeah, we only have 5 more minutes left. So yeah, we have a question? Any question for what we just went over? No? Okay. So yeah, in the end, all right, yeah, thank you. So yeah, in the end, what I just want to say is, thank you so much. You guys have come to the second session, so it seems that there's still some continued interest in learning programming. And okay, yeah. So yeah. So yeah. Okay. I see some questions coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So someone asked, okay, do you have any homework? Okay, sure. An assignment that I would like everyone to do for next time is like a simple question, right? Today we learned about arrays. Okay, today we learned about arrays, right? So how I want everyone to write a program that'll do something very, very simple. And the question is, okay, what I want to, using an array and using a for loop, what is the sum of the numbers from 1 to 100, right? So I want you to declare a array, and then or you don't have to, or however you want to do it, but use a for loop and an array to find what is the sum of the numbers from 1 to 100? And then for extra credit, right, you can do 1 to 1,000 or even 1 to 100,000. Okay. And yeah, let's see, some more questions. I'll post that in the WhatsApp group too. Let's see, okay, yeah. But yeah, and I guess we only have a couple more minutes left. So in the end, I just want to say, yeah, thank you everyone for joining again in the second week. And kind of how this started, I just wanted to find some way that I can contribute what I know back to our couple community, back to our society. And just, I'm just so grateful for what I've received from my family, from my community, and that has helped me, reach whatever knowledge I have and whatever, that is good in my life currently, and I want to contribute back. I think everyone wants to, say hello at the end. Let me unmute everyone. Okay, yeah, everyone can unmute themselves if they want in the end, and just say hello.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Nachiket and Anuj, if you want to say something in the end.
I don't have anything,
Anything to say, okay. Yeah.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
See, for me, this Java is completely new and it went over my head.
Yeah.
So how do I, I'm trying to just learn for fun, I see somebody wearing glasses, like 2-colored glasses. What does that have to do?
I don't know. I think that's a Zoom feature.
Yeah, that's a Zoom feature, new Zoom feature.
So what does that help? I'm sorry, but I have to ask. What does that help in Zoom?
And there's like a feature you can use. That's fun. Kind of, you can make your
just for fun.
background. Yeah. All right. But yeah, so yeah, definitely. I think we covered a lot today. Maybe we'll recap some of the concepts next time. So we'll try to go maybe a little slower. Yeah, definitely, like what we covered today was there was some programming, there was some math. There's also like what we talked about with the Boolean operators. That's called basically like Boolean logic or logic algebra in math.
Yeah, logic. Because I learned that in logic. True
Yeah.
false.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different concepts that we covered this time. We'll try to maybe go over, like do a little recap next time too. But,
so you think a beginner like me can learn?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Those operators are actually called as logical
operators. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thank
you
you everyone
so
so much. All right. Yeah.
But sir, I think we should give a assignment of 4 to 5 questions at the end of every session, so that people can come up, can solve the problem in their own way, and then we can discuss it in the next session.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. I'll in the WhatsApp group I'll post some questions. All right.
Also, you can make it fun, right? Say, hey, how can we make samosa, kachori, batata vada, and make it keep making it every day? So maybe a for loop for that. So all the programming, what it does is it's a robot, right? Programming is nothing but a robot. You have a robot who can cook food for you, right? And you write a program for that. You can definitely do that. So it's fun. Very, very proud of you, and really fun session. Great session.
Thank you.
But I guess it'll be good with some homework. Everybody can understand and maybe slow down and right, let people ask questions. I guess that will be good thing. Everybody hope enjoying, and feel free, right? Everyone, we should be interactive session. Give some ideas, suggestions, right? So. Really.
I think in this program there are a lot of people who are more experienced of Java. They know more. People like me who don't know anything. there are few
Correct,
people
correct,
like that.
Yeah.
Looks like
Good,
everybody's
good.
experienced here.
Yeah. I mean, everyone started off at the same, right? Like whenever someone's learning something new, it'll be definitely new. It just the way you learn is you keep on practicing, and that's how you understand. So yeah, we'll definitely next time we'll go a little bit slower and we'll recap some of the concepts.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll give
So
some
you're
homework.
going perfectly. It's very fascinating. Even I'm learning it for the first time, coding. But absolutely, the pace you are going with and the speed you are going with, so perfect. So really enjoying, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you,
You're
sir.
a great
Bye.
teacher. You're a great teacher. It's just me. It's just me. I can't
No,
understand. But you are a great
no, no,
teacher.
no. Yeah, yeah.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
It's beautiful. Florida is beautiful. Enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah.